from me.
So the first skill I wish my father would have taught me, how to take care of my body. Now, as a teenager, I was active in a wide variety of sports, played soccer, played football, but my love was cross country and track. To be specific, the mile. That was my race. That being said, try as I might, I could not break the 440 barrier. Looking back, I can see what the problem was. Despite having a lot of heart, I didn't have a prescribed workout routine, and even worse, I had no idea what good nutrition was. Now, fast forward 30 years, a healthy diet for my family is a priority. Vegetables, fish, lean meats, nuts, while we keep dairy, bread, and sugar in check. In addition, we're active. All of my kids participate in sports, and I really pay attention to the quality of the coach. Looking at my son here, I'm proud of the man he's becoming, and I'm happy I'm able to give him the skills when it comes to taking care of his body that he'll be able to use the rest of his life. In today's video, gents, we're talking about skills that every dad needs to teach his kids. Like a lot of you guys, I didn't grow up with a father. My parents divorced when I was 5. My mother moved out of state. My father tried to visit us for a few years, but eventually kind of drifted away, got remarried, started his own family, and really didn't have anything to do with us. Now, everything I'm listing out in this video is very personal, is where I wish I would have had a strong male role model to show me how to do these things. But if I missed something, if you feel I should have added something to this video, let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Next up, let's talk about money. I wish somebody would have explained money to me, because it was just one of those taboo subjects. We didn't have a whole lot of it, so we never talked about it. And guess what? I had horrible financial acumen growing up. Now, with my family, I'm an open book about money. We talk about earnings, savings, spendings, and I try to get the kids involved. In fact, I've got this, I just did it last year, where I take all the money I earn, I put it in a bag, in cash, in ones, and guess what? I then pour it right on the table in front of my kids, and I say, okay, this is the money we earned, you get to pay the bills. So I put all the bills out there, the electric bill, the gas bill, the mortgage, everything, and they got to go through and they've got to pay it. Oh, and before they do that, they are actually seeing what we put into investments, what we put into savings, what we put into charity, and they get to see where the money breaks out and where it goes every single month. Now, one of the things I stress when we're going through this exercise is that we pay ourselves first. We always first invest in ourselves. We put money aside for the future. Now, speaking of investments, what about you? Are you smart when it comes to putting away your money for the future? Are you jumping onto the latest money hype, or are you paying attention and focusing and investing in long-term financial growth? Gents, investing can be confusing. I mean, I've got a fancy MBA, and I know when I was getting started, it was confusing on where do you go? Where do you start to put your money so that it can work for you? Well, gents, if you're looking for an elite investing firm for the everyday investor, you need to check out today's sponsor, Titan. Now, gents, if you haven't heard, Titan was named the top advisor of the year by US News. They manage over $500 million and have over 30,000 clients. No fees on your gains, no lockups, and a low flat rate advisory fee. And I have to admit, I absolutely love how their investment managers are leveraging the power of video and Instagram stories to explain exactly how they're managing your money. Now, gents, this is a sponsored post. I'm not a Titan client, but I did my research on these guys. I love what they're doing, how they've got these great money managers communicating with their clients, and go look at their returns. Do your research. These guys historically have had some really good returns. As you guys know, what worked, what happened in the past isn't going to necessarily happen in the future. Point being, if you're looking for a place to start, if you want to work with a money manager, check out what they're doing over at Titan. To get started today, gents, go to titan.com/RMRS and get your first 3 months of expert investment management for 0 fees. Again, that's titan.com/RMRS. Use that link. Go check them out. Awesome company. Next up, saying I love you and showing affection. Everyone in my family knows that I love them. You know how I know they know this? Because I tell them every day. Multiple times a day, oftentimes. In fact, sometimes I get really odd and I sing it to them and they're like, Dad, what are you doing? My daughters, my son, whenever I drop him off at school, I drop him off at a special entrance because no one's ever around, and I will yell out the window that I love them. Okay, I make sure no one's around. Point being is my kids will not be like how I just didn't hear it very often. So for me, I've flipped this and I'm going to tell everyone I love them. My guy friends, I tell them I love them. You know why? Because I don't know how much time I have left on this planet. My wife knows I love her because I tell her multiple times a day. We have fights just like any couple out there, but I don't let her go to bed without knowing that, hey, I may be pig-headed, I may have said something I shouldn't have said, but I love you. And yeah, she holds a grudge for a while, but she at least knows that I care, that I'm human, that I've made mistakes. Here's the thing, is you need to let people know you care. So never hold it in. always tell people that you love them. Next up, how to throw a punch, how to take a punch, how to see a fight coming. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wish I would have had a dad to fight with, but a dad to spar with. Maybe a dad that was into boxing, a dad that was into wrestling. A lot of my friends in college, their fathers were into wrestling. And it was amazing to hear the stories for them to have known as a child and, a young man, all these skills that could get them out of tough situations. I wanted that. So to compensate, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I actually sought out training in jiu-jitsu and basic firearms training and things like that because I wanted to understand how to be able to defend myself. With my son, yes, I've taken him shooting. I've taken him out, and we've done a little bit. A friend of mine was a boxer, so I got him in the ring. And he didn't beat up my kid. He just simply taught him how to keep your hands up, why this is important. Even if you're at a bar and you simply say, hey, I don't want any to fight here. What are you doing? You're putting your hands up. And he explained how this is a great way to be able to defend your head, to be able to see something coming, and to be able to put yourself in a situation so that you can defend yourself quickly. Now, some of you guys are saying, Antonio, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I hear you. So let's talk about dancing. I wish my father would have taught me how to dance and the importance of dancing. I was that guy in high school. I never went to any dances. You know what? I didn't know how to dance. I didn't want to embarrass myself. And I thought, I'll stay away from this. Throughout college, I never went out dancing. It just was something I didn't do. Weddings, I was the guy sitting there where there were all these beautiful girls there waiting to get asked to dance, and I was not the person doing it. And guys, I missed out on so much. So guess what? My kids learned how to dance. It was ballroom dancing, and there's a lot more to, I know it doesn't translate always into, club dancing. Point being is they're not afraid to move. They're not afraid to get out there. And I've got friends that have actually learned as adult men. My friend Ryan Masters created a whole business, Show Her Off, in which he taught himself to dance and created a whole business around this. Point being, you can learn the basics of dancing if you are willing to kind of just put yourself out there. Willing for 1 or 2 nights to look like a fool, go out there with a partner. Believe me, there are still people out there dancing, wanting to engage with other people, and it is a great way to meet people. Now, gents, if you're enjoying today's video, do me a favor and smash that like button. This lets the algorithm know that, hey, Antonio should make more videos like this. Next up, how to make eye contact and how to shake a hand and introduce yourself. Yeah, things have changed here in the world, but people are still engaging with each other, and things are going to open up again. Point being is a lot of people do not have any social skills. They don't even introduce themselves. They'll stand around in a group and they won't say anything. And people are like, how are they supposed to know who you are? If you don't have the ability to speak up, to put your hand out there, to introduce yourself, to simply do a fist bump, whatever it may be, you've got to learn that this is a skill. This isn't something you can read about and then just do. For many people, it's something that they have to overcome, that hesitancy that we have to be rejected. And this is something I've been working on with my son. He's very quiet. My daughters, they're much more open, interestingly enough. But my son, he's just a very reserved person. And I've consistently worked with him. In fact, I got him into forensics at school, and the guy ended up winning state. He like flips a switch, which actually reminds me of me, because I was this person. I was this introvert. I was this person that did not like to speak. But you put me in the right situation, put me in front of a camera, I can talk. And I noticed that my son can do the same thing. So I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Next up, how to disagree properly. And what I'm talking about here is not just to politely disagree, but to get the other person to respect and understand your opinion. Because how many times are you at a party, you hear two people starting to go back and forth on religion, on politics, and it gets ugly very quickly. Now, here's the thing, is there are ways to express your opinion to show that you actually do have a counter point of view and give respect to the other person. Especially, and this is important, when the other person is not able to engage intelligently, that they are perhaps just very blind in like a zealot in their belief system. Here's the thing, is you can still have the conversation. You can still engage with them. Maybe you don't want to engage with them very long, but you don't want it to go down into a fight. You don't want it to get ugly. You don't want it to be something embarrassing for the people you're around. And that's what you have to understand. This is a practice that, of engagement, of simply knowing how to talk and to be respectful at the same time, to be clear that you've got boundaries and you have your own belief system. Next up, I wish my father would have taught me how to fix and repair things. I'm going to keep it pretty general because this could be a washing machine. This could be a refrigerator. This could be your water heater. This could be something on your car. I find that for me, the longest time I resisted touching any of this stuff because I had this, it had to be perfect mentality, that I was somehow going to make it even worse, that I was going to break it beyond repair. And yes, that has happened sometime, but other times I have been amazed about what I can do. And this is something that I've had to put myself in those uncomfortable situations of figuring it out. And for my son, I've actually worked on this. Hey, we wanted to build a computer. How do you start with this? Well, figure it out. Come to me with a plan. Go think about it. Look online. Start putting things together. And lo and behold, within a period of a month, my son has built a computer. Yes, he messed up a couple boards. He should have, he made some mistakes. We had to actually buy some new parts. Point being is he learned from that process. I think a father should be able to give his kids is the ability to actually experiment. You don't want them to hurt themselves, but you want them to go out there and do things imperfectly. In fact, we've got tons of projects around the house that I give to my kids, and yes, it would be faster for me to do it. It would be faster and probably even a much better job if my wife went out there and did the gardening. We get our kids involved because all of a sudden they learn from these mistakes. Yes, they pulled up some pumpkins they probably shouldn't have pulled up. Point being is they learn from this, and I wish I would have been given these skill sets at an earlier age. Next up, let's talk about languages. I wish my father would have taught me Spanish. He was born in Mexico, emigrated to the United States when he was 10, but Spanish was basically the language in his mother's house. Grandma only spoke Spanish, and I just never had a relationship with her. It wasn't something anyone ever taught us. With my kids, totally different. We only speak Russian and Ukrainian in the house. When we travel over to Ukraine, we do it for 2 to 3 months at a time. Why? So my kids can get the language practice in, and they're surrounded by native speakers. In my opinion, being bilingual, being trilingual gives you such a leg up in today's world. Economically, when it comes to looking for jobs in other countries, working with companies that have offices in different locations, being able to start your own company and do your own research, or just simply culturally, simply enjoyment of life. The fact that you could go read Tolstoy and its original language, that kind of stuff, you can't put a price on, and is an amazing skill to be able to give somebody. All right, Jen, so what did I miss? What would you have added to this video? Let me know down in the comments. So what video to watch next? How about why I joined the United States Marine Corps? And yes, one of those reasons was I didn't really grow up around my father. I had certain skills that I thought the Marine Corps could teach me, find out what they were, and the reason why I joined in this video right here.